When smarts take a back seat, the gritty truth. Ever been in a class with a genius? You know, the one who aces every test without breaking a sweat? We've all been there. Now, picture this. That same genius struggling to finish a simple project, throwing a tantrum when things get tough. Shocking, right? Well, this is where the plot twist comes in. It's not always about how smart you are. It's about how gritty you are. Angela Duckworth, a psychology rock star, noticed this head-scratcher while teaching. Some of her brightest students weren't the ones acing it in the long run. It was the ones who kept going, even when things got tough. They were like those annoying Energizer bunnies, but for success. Duckworth called this superpower grit. Turns out grit is like that friend who pushes you to finish that marathon, even when your legs feel like jelly. It's the voice that says, "Get up, dust yourself off, and try again." When you faceplant, metaphorically of course, unless you're into parkour. And the best part? You don't need a fancy degree or a trust fund to get your hands on this superpower. So what exactly is this magical grit thing? In a nutshell, it's passion and perseverance for long-term goals. It's about sticking to your guns, even when the going gets tough, and believe me, it will. Think of it like this. Imagine you're climbing Mount Everest. It's freezing, your legs are screaming, and that marshmallow suit is starting to feel a little snug. Do you give up and order a pizza back at base camp? Or do you dig deep, embrace the suck, and conquer that mountain? That, my friends, is grit in action. And the best part is, grit isn't just for mountain climbers and marathon runners. It's the secret sauce in every success story. From scientists toiling away in labs to entrepreneurs burning the midnight oil, grit is the common denominator. It's what separates the almost made its from the nailed its of the world. So next time you see a successful person, don't just think, wow, they're lucky. Think, wow, they must be one gritty cookie, because chances are they didn't get there by chance. They got there by embracing the power of grit. Now, some people might say, hold on, Trevor, what about talent? Don't you need some natural-born skills to make it big? Sure, talent can be helpful, like having a tailwind on your Everest climb. But here's the thing. Talent alone is like a shiny sports car with no engine. It looks good, but it won't get you very far. Think of it like a race. Talent might give you a head start, but it's grit that gets you to the finish line. You see, talent without grit is like a half-eaten bowl of cereal. Sure, it was fun at first, but then you get bored and move on to something else. Duckworth's research found that grit is a better predictor of success than IQ, talent, or even good looks. Sorry folks, but personality goes a long way. Whether it's acing those exams, crushing it in your career, or even mastering the art of parallel parking, grit is the key that unlocks your full potential. Growing your grit muscles. Mind over matter. Okay, Trevor, you've convinced me. Grit is awesome, but how do I get me some of that? The good news is, grit isn't some mystical unicorn you have to chase through a rainbow. It's a muscle you can build and strengthen over time. First things first, find your passion. What gets you fired up? What makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning, besides the smell of coffee? Once you find your why, everything else becomes a little easier. Next up, embrace challenges like they're your long-lost BFF. Don't shy away from obstacles. See them as opportunities to flex your grit muscles. Remember, every time you stumble, you learn something new. And last but not least, cultivate a growth mindset. This means believing that your abilities aren't set in stone. It's about embracing the yet. I can't do this yet. I haven't figured this out yet. It's about seeing setbacks as stepping stones, not roadblocks. Unleash your inner grit monster. It's time to rise. So, there you have it, folks. Grit, the not-so-secret weapon that can help you conquer your goals and live your best life. Remember, you don't need to be a genius, a superhero, or a reality TV star to succeed. All you need is a sprinkle of passion, a whole lot of perseverance, and a dash of that I've got this attitude. So go out there and embrace the power of grit. The world is your oyster, and you've got the pearl diving gear to get after it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to work on my stand-up routine. Turns out, making people laugh takes more than just showing up with a microphone and a dream. It takes grit, baby, grit.